Hello, I am Girish here to present a seminar on recent trends in 5 nanometer technology in SoC design. So let's see what is 5 nanometer technology in SoC design. So 5 nanometer process. So in semiconductor manufacturing, international roadmap for the device and system defines the 5 nanometer process as the MOSFET technology node following the 7 nanometer. This before 5 nanometer technology, there is a 7 nanometer technology. Now we are moving from 7 nanometer to 5 nanometer technology. So in 2020, Samsung and Taiwan Semiconductor started producing a 5 nanometer chips. MOSFET basically. So the length of the channel is 5 nanometer in the 5 nanometer technology. So previously it was a 7 nanometer technology. So and the customer to this is currently Apple, Marvell, Huawei and Qualcomm. So Qualcomm and Apple, Huawei are producing 5 nanometer technology chips in 2020. Now, before 5 nanometer, there is a 7 nanometer technology demonstrated by the researcher in 2020, early 2020. Now, after 2000, IBM demonstrated the 6 nanometer technology with the Bruce Doris and their teammates, colleagues. So, after that, in 2003, Japan NEC and NEC National Electronic Customer. So they produce a first 5 nanometer MOSFET. So from 7 nanometer moved to the 5 nanometer in 2003 by the Japanese researcher team. Now in 2015, Cadence has fabricated a 5 nanometer test chips. Means the Cadence is the company which fabricated a test suit for the 5 nanometer technology, which is fabricated by the Japanese semiconductor companies. So it took from 2003 to 2015. Now in 15, Intel introduced a new technology called gate all around rather than a FinFET technology. In FinFET technology, what will happen is there is a both side of the MOSFET, there is the gate constructions are there. But so better than this technology, there is a gate all around FET concept. So that concept creates a three nano sheets, layers basically. Sheet means a layer, three layers, and then within the three layers of nano sheets, 5 nanometer sheets, they do the interconnection in between them, between the circuitry. So IBM produced 50 nanometer square, 600 million transistor per meter square. So this is the nanosheet performance diagram. Now in that we have let's some abbreviation, some shortcuts. So transistor gate pitch is also referred to as a CPP, that is contact poly pitch, and there is an interconnected pitch which is known as the minimum metal pitch. Now, what is the advantage we get is get into 5 nanometer technology is a power reduction. So the chips produce operates on a rather than one 5 volt, they operate at a 1 volt or zero point 0.8 volt. So there is a power reduction requirement. So there is a more battery life and more features we can accommodate in the same IC using a SoC technology with a 5 nanometer. So 5 nanometer is the length of the channel between the source and the drain of a MOSFET device. So with the 5 nanometer we can get a better peacemaker, good cell phones, laptops with a longer battery life, server farm. There is a many servers are kept together and they are extremely less dependent on the maximum power requirement. So their life is more. Power supply, power delivery capacity is more. So there is a cooling requirement will be required because if you operate a device at a 5 nanometer technology, then there is a definitely less power requirement. So device heating requirement is more. So cooling requirement should be more, not much in case of a 5 nanometer technology, because the device it operates at low power. So what is FinFET? In FinFET, there is a construction of pins around the transistors. So that is basically a fin technology. So let's see that the most significant development in the transistor over the last few years has been introduced of FinFET into mainstream technology, in which devices are built in a very thin, less than 10 nanometer body, which is there is a gate on at least two sides. So there is a gate on the two sides of the MOSFET, when we fabricate it in a bulk. So with the 5 nanometer, we have a nano sheets, 3 layers of nano sheet, 3 layers of 5 nanometer or 10 less size thin sheets. So on which we take the connection wherever required. Now this feature provides excellent control of the electrostatic of the device, wherein more ideal sub-threshold slope and low off current at a low threshold voltage, which provides a high drive strength. So with a low voltage we get a more strength. So this is the diagram for the fin layout. There is shown as a gate is at the both the side, and there is a height it is shown. So FinFET has been successfully from 22 nanometer to 7 nanometer mode. So FinFET is advantages from when we manufacture a chip with the SoC technology is a 22 nanometer to 7 nanometer. So this is the maximum we can go below the reducing the channel. Now with the 5 nanometer FinFET technology is not defined. Means they have more troubles in not manufacturing, but working as a complexity in terms of complexity. So 5 nanometer FinFET is not suitable. So concept. So there is a newly introduced a nano sheets. So that used in the practice for the 5 nanometer. So advantage of FinFET processes. FinFET benefit from getting taller and closer together. Taller fins provides more drive strength per unit area. Fins that are closer together have low parasitic capacitance and of course occupy smaller area. However, there are practical limitations on that tall and how closely the fins are placed. So stack nanosheet improve upon both these aspects. So the stacks means one below the other, one above the other. There are 3 sheets. They are stacked one above the other. So commercial use in April 19, Samsung started using a 5 nanometer technology. Then in April 19, there is Taiwan Semiconductor also started using a 5 nanometer process. So in October 19, Taiwan again start sampling 5 nanometer A14 process for the Apple. So in October 19, Taiwan Semiconductor used 5 nanometer technology for Apple incorporation. So in October 2020, Apple produced iPhone 12 with 5 nanometer technology, and later on November 10, Apple reviewed this Mac also. So Apple Mac laptop or Apple laptop they produce with a 5 nanometer technology in November 10, 2020. So these are the applications. So what we get is the question is the reduction power, reduce in the parasitic capacitance, increase in the frequency, increase in battery life, less heating effect. So these are the advantages of the using a 5 nanometer technology, and 5 nanometer technology is implemented with a concept called as nano sheets. So these are the things, the trends in the 5 nanometer technology. That's all. So any questions? Thank you very much.